Welcome to Second Edition. I'm Zachary Kenny, and I'm joined with Ryan Browning.
Today we're going to talk about the crime rate on Alberta Avenue, plus the pothole problem in Edmonton.
But first, we begin with a new support center for students at NAIT. The NAIT International Intercultural Center has opened its doors for in-person meetings.
Contextual. I'm looking at my notes.
The International Intercultural Center at NAIT has celebrated its opening in person on Friday. Tim Ira has started things off with a presentation bringing social matters and current events to the students of NAIT. The room is located in the HP building and has its doors open for anybody interested.
I really enjoy working in the IICC. It's a new team from all across NAIT. We are bringing together so much experience, so much energy and so much passion for serving students.
And with the IICC open to public access, international students have a welcoming place to come and be represented.
Alberta Avenue residents have asked police to help lower crime rates. Members of the Alberta Avenue Community League have asked the Edmonton Police Service for more help with the property crime, violent acts, and vandalism.
So my main concerns going into the police commission was actually around the safety, mainly the safety of children and women and more vulnerable people in our neighborhood.
Glasgow has said that the police haven't committed anything long-term to help residents of the area, but police are looking forward for short-term solutions.
Edmonton Fire Rescue Services urges Edmontonians to stay off the North Saskatchewan River. In the last week, Edmonton Fire Rescue Services responded to 6 calls from either children playing on the river ice or people going onto the ice trying to rescue animals.
Based on some of the points we have spoken to, the ice is unsafe and we need to stay off. I'm encouraging parents, educators, and I would like to empower the outdoor users of the city of Edmonton to, not in a confrontational way, but in a community way, to share the message that the ice is not safe.
Edmontonians are also encouraged to stay away from the riverbanks and keep their dogs on a leash when near a river.
It's springtime and the weather is getting warmer. As the weather is getting warmer, the potholes begin to appear. The freeze-thaw cycle is delaying pothole repair in Edmonton. In 2021, at this time, crews had filled about 21,000 potholes, and in this year, they only fixed 12,000. Crews cannot work on potholes where there's snow and ice packed on the road.
As the snow has begun to melt and we transition to spring, we know that potholes have started to become more visible around the city. We expect to see an increase in potholes at this time of year due to the fact of the freeze-thaw cycles we've had through the winter season.
Crews says if you see a pothole, please report to the website or call 311.
Now we head over to sports, where we look at NAIT's Badminton Nationals and a local story of baseball.
And over to Gavin with sports.
Thanks, guys. The Badminton Nationals have officially come to an end, and many competitors earned some hardware to go with their rackets. This past Saturday, NAIT concluded a 3-day event that hosted the best collegiate badminton athletes in Canada. Participants from 2 separate national conferences had one last attempt this past Saturday to claim a national medal. NAIT saw athletes, coaches, and spectators converge on the NAIT gym. Badminton Canada oversaw the tournament and complimented NAIT's hosting efforts as first class.
The event has been absolutely fabulous from the start to the finish. We also had an event in Oshawa at the same time, and I would be surprised to see that they've done any better than we have here.
Following the championship round Saturday, NAIT student Smit Patel brought home team honors to our college by capturing gold in men's singles. Patel was considered the underdog going into the final, coming in with a 3-3 record. Here's a look at who cleaned up and took home medals here at NAIT. The Birdies won't be flying again until next fall when they have trials for the 2023 season. A local baseball player has taken a step towards his lifelong goal of playing in the major leagues and is helping the baseball community in the process. Adam Macko, who's a current pitching prospect to the Seattle Mariners in their farm system, gives a lot of credit to the local baseball community for developing his work ethic and dedication. As a result, Mako now offers advice to younger athletes on how to achieve success within a career in baseball.
Just keep improving your strengths, because no matter how strong your strengths are, you can always get better at them. And the more unique you are in that way, the more likely you're going to be picked up, because it's something that interests scouts.
Baseball America has Mako starting the season as the 9th-ranked prospect in the Mariners organization. The local product is actually from Slovakia, moving to Edmonton in his early teens to continue his baseball journey. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for the baseball season.
I couldn't agree more. Nothing beats watching a nice hot summer game.
Oh, I'm with you guys. That last story got me excited for the summer season. Thanks, Gavin.
Thanks, guys.
As the province eases restrictions, events are now starting up again.
Second Edition's Rodby Barnancia speaks to NAIT's VP Academic about the first ever NAIT Sustainability Week.
Thanks, guys. Today, we're joined by Renata Medeiros, NAIT's a VP Academic and NAIT's a Sustainability Committee member. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And today, we'll speak about NAIT Sustainability Week next week. So our first question, there was student desire to learn more about what NAIT was doing to be more sustainable. How is this expressed?
We have our annual surveys, and in there is always a question about sustainability and a question, what else do you want to see a change in a NAIT or a NAITSA? And has been, in the past few years, has been an increase regarding sustainability practices.
And the Eco Fair, do-it-yourself workshop, the film screening, speaker panel. Can you tell me a little bit about these events?
Yes, so our workshop, the students are going to be able to learn how to do beeswax wrap on their own. And it's going to be an asynchronous workshop, so they can download the material and learn to do it. And of course, then they can show it to us on social media. The Eco Fair, we are going to bring a lot of local businesses and organizations to NAIT, to the students, so they can learn about the work that they're doing, the sustainable work that they're doing, and engage with those vendors. The speaker panel, we're going to bring different stakeholders from departments from NAIT, within NAIT, to talk about what sustainable practices NAIT has been doing and how are they increasing it. And the film screening, we are going to screen the Story of Plastic from The Story of Stuff. It is a Emmy Award-winning documentary regarding plastic pollution. The film screening and the speaker panel are going to happen at the Dow Theater in person, so the students can join us in person, or we are also going to do a hybrid format for both of those events, and they can join us virtually if they're more comfortable with that.
Well, thank you for being with us today. And for Second Edition News, I'm Ravi Baranchea, joined by Renata Medeiros. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Working as a journalist takes many skills and strengths.
Second Edition's Kelsey Zerbrug sits down with the former CTV personality Graham Neal to discuss what it takes, as well as the chat about a recent online seminar led by Neal titled Working in Journalism.
Thank you, guys. So today I'm joined by Graham Neal, longtime Powerhouse CTV entertainment personality turned NAIT instructor. Thank you for joining us, Graham.
Oh, glad to be here.
So I would like to start off by talking about the online class that you recently hosted in collaboration with the campus newspaper. So I'm just wondering, what was your goal upon meeting with the students, and why is it so important to encourage younger generations?
Yeah, I mean, it's, as you know, journalism is in a bit of a different state than it once was, and it changes all the time. And I think it's always important to sort of talk to people that have kind of been around the industry for so long, and kind of say that even though the delivery method is changing and how people are consuming news and being informed and stuff, at the end of the day, though, the message still needs to be the same.
This has kind of come up more in recent years, but politics have created a large stigma around news, with people claiming everything is staged or fake, and has caused many people to lose trust in the media. So what are your thoughts on the unfair backlash that journalists are receiving today?
You know, fake news, if you're looking to a trusted source, is not fake. You know, do the journalists get it right all the time? Could they go back and maybe get a different angle a little bit better? Yeah, I think so. but the standards are there. If I say something, online, chances are I might not, hear from a lawyer or get sued. But if a news station puts something out, you're liable for what you say and you're responsible for it. And I think more than ever, sometimes people don't like what they hear. They don't like what they hear. This term fake news has been sort of coined in order to be a very broad discrediting of they're not reporting the news that I feel I want to hear.
After hosting the Working in Journalism event, are you confident in the next generation of journalists?
There's always those young, bright, fresh people that are in journalism for the right reason, because true journalism can affect change and it's needed. And I can't imagine, a more noble calling in some regards, more needed than now. And I think that people that want to go in and affect change and do that, it's for the right reasons. So yeah, I mean, young people have always been the backbone and the curiosity and the fresh perspective, and I don't see that changing.
For Second Edition News, I'm Kelsey Zerbrugg.
Being a part of the queer community, it can sometimes be hard to find places to talk openly in a safe environment.
MacEwan University is helping break the silence, holding a monthly Queer Time Tuesday event. Second Edition's Caitlin Labonte talked with one of the organizers about the event.
Hey guys! Today I'm joined with Amelia Altmick, who is one of the organizers for Queer Time Tuesdays down at Dirtbag Cafe. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so first off, what is Queer Time Tuesday?
So I'll give a bit of background. So my name's Amelia Altmix. I'm the community assistant at SAMU. So I work in the programs department. And me and my manager are both queer. And we were talking about queer spaces in Edmonton and how there isn't a ton of diversity in them. So I wanted to bring together a space that was available for all ages and all types of queer folk, but then also cultivate a library of literature so queer folks could engage with queer theory and write little notes with each other in the texts. And then also, have a community dialogue about queerness and learn about other queer folks and learn about your queer community. I feel like so much of queer dialogue stays kind of this relegated area online where it's like these Tumblr terms, but there's actually like a lot of academic history and theory behind a lot of these terms, like intersectionality, like queer theory, and it's nice to have literature on that.
So yeah, this is going to be your second one because there was one last month.
We had our first one was February 22nd. It was during reading break, so it wasn't overly busy, but still a good turnout. It was consistent throughout the day. We had some folks come in. It was very sweet. We had some folks who, especially because the pandemic, haven't really got to engage with their queer community for a while. And I definitely was feeling that during the pandemic. It's nice to be able to come back and have a space.
Yeah, so when is the next one?
There's one on March 29th, and we also got one on April 26th, and then May 31st. So those are all the ones that are scheduled for right now, but we do plan on running them the rest of the summer.
I think those were actually all the questions I had for you.
Awesome, cool.
Thank you again so much for joining me. From Second Edition, I'm Caitlin Labonte.
And after the break, we come back to an informal drum tutorial
on how to make sure your houseplants stay alive and well all year round. Second Edition. Coming up, advice on caring for your plants this spring, plus how to craft jokes and use them for a stand-up.
But first, a little music lesson from our Ty Roswell, who teaches you how to drum like a pro.
Hello and welcome to Second Edition. I'm Ty Roswell, and today I'm going to be showing you the different parts of a drum set and how to put it together to start drumming on your own. Everybody needs a hobby, maybe even thinking about picking up some drumsticks for yourself. Well, today I'm going to show you what you need to get started. First, what you're going to need is a snare drum. That's going to be your bread and butter, really. You can do so many different things with the snare drum alone, even excluding the cymbals and the bass drum. Speaking of bass drum, that's the next piece of equipment we're going to talk about. It is essentially the backbone for drumming and what's going to give you the sort of bass tone that you're looking for. And to finish off with the essentials, we're going to talk about the hi-hat, which can be open and closed for all sorts of different beats depending on what you're looking for.
And that is essentially all you need to get started. So now we're going to be moving on to the more optional equipment, just to add some more variety.
We're talking about the splash, the crash, the ride, and the china. And piggybacking off of that, we're also going to talk about the toms. And there's the high toms, medium toms, and floor toms. These go hand in hand with the cymbals when it comes to fills, solos, that general sort of thing.
So now we're going to put it all together and see how everything looks.
I hope you learned something today and were able to think about maybe setting up your own drum kit and getting started. This has been Ty Roswell with 2nd Edition.
Hi everyone, I'm Lena Stevens with 2nd Edition, and I'm going to be showing you the easiest houseplants to take care of. Now if you're anything like me, you're probably guilty of killing a few plants in your day. So I'm going to show you the plants to get if you want to avoid a plant graveyard.
The first plant that I recommend getting is a snake plant. This plant is nearly impossible to kill. They can thrive in indirect light and doesn't need to be watered until the soil is completely dried out. Meaning yes, you can forget about your snake plant completely and it will still thrive. They're super tough and definitely the best plant for beginners. The next plant that I recommend is a spider plant. Spider plants are fast growing and produce lots of baby plants, so you can have many spider plants. They like a bright spot best, but they also do fine in medium or low light as well. Try to water these guys about once a week, but they're not fussy about how often you water them. Cacti are made for people who don't have a green thumb. The only surefire way to kill a cactus is by overwatering. My personal favorite is a zigzag cactus, simply because they look cool. A zigzag cactus is a great way to add some personality to your plant collection. There are over 2,000 different varieties of Hoya plants, but my favorite is the Hoya heart. Hoyas are great for beginners. They don't mind being root bound, so you don't have to worry about repotting them for years. As long as you keep your soil well drained, the Hoya is as easy as can be to take care of. As part of the succulent family, aloe sucks up sunlight and rarely needs watering. As long as you plop them in a sunny corner, you can forget about them and they'll still thrive. Having aloe plants in your home is very useful too. You can use the juice from their leaves as a pain reliever for cuts and burns.
Alright everyone, those are the house plants that I recommend getting if you want to avoid a plant graveyard. This is Lena Stevens with 2nd Edition.
Hello, I'm Liam Connell with 2nd Edition. On top of being a NAIT student, I'm also a semi-professional stand-up comedian, which means sometimes I get paid in popcorn and other times venues actually give me money. Tonight, I'm on a show at the Comedy Cave in Calgary, and I'm going to show you how to be a stand-up comic. I always prepare for a show by writing a set list of jokes, just like bands do with songs. Over the years, I've written plenty of jokes to build a set list out of. But if it's your first time, you'll have to write all your jokes from scratch. I love making people laugh at the things they're uncomfortable talking about. But before I can do that, I have to get the audience on my side first. And the best way to do that is by making fun of my appearance. Today, I'm gonna rewrite this joke.
I don't look like I'm gonna do comedy, I look like I'm gonna play acoustic guitar in the park. Well, I'm here for comedy. I'm excited.
That I stopped doing because it didn't have enough substance. But the idea that I don't look like a comedian is something I can really build on. So that's what I'll be doing before the show. Now that I have a setup and a punchline, I can start writing misdirections, taglines, and even add in some new ideas until the joke feels right. It's important to say your jokes out loud to make sure you're not wasting words. You have to keep the audience's attention. Sometimes it even helps to record yourself while writing.
Okay, so I've written the joke. I think it might be funny. I don't know. You never know until you try it, but it's 2:30, so I gotta get to the venue, which is gonna be a 3-hour drive, and before that, I have to change into a different black t-shirt and rehearse my set in the mirror. Let's go.
Who am I to talk? I don't look like I do comedy. I look like I play acoustic guitar in the park. And then sleep there. I'm in a weird spot financially in my life, you know, where if I go get a haircut, I won't be able to afford rent. You know, so I won't look homeless anymore, but I'll actually be homeless.
Now all I have to do is rewrite that joke over and over again for years until it's perfect. Thanks for joining me. Liam Connell, 2nd edition.
That is all we have tonight on 2nd edition. I'm Ryan Browning.
And I'm Zach Kenny, and we'll see you next week on 2nd edition.